What's up, everyone? It's Chicks in the Office with Rianne Fran giving you that Friday energy on a Wednesday. Welcome back, everybody. Happy 2024. Happy New Year.
I'm imagining the sounds of the New Year's Eve.
Yeah. Boo, boo, boo. I wish we had those with us. We didn't plan for that. But welcome back, Francesca. I'm very happy to see you.
Same. I'm happy to see you. I'm happy to see everybody in the room.
I'm happy to see everybody's wonderful little faces in here.
Yep. I was sad to leave Florida, but I am happy to be here.
Yes. You know, it's always a bittersweet
feeling. It is. Right? It's always, you're always excited to come back, start the year. But there's also like the anxiety of like traveling. You know, it's just you've been laying low. And you've been laying low, and then you got to jump back into the swing of things.
Right. And I think that goes into what I was going to say about the new year. And I posted this on my story last night. But I feel like, and more than ever, I think this year, I have seen it on social media. More than ever have I seen the pressure of starting a new year, starting a new habit, whether that be eating healthy, working out, whatever it may be, or just getting up and doing something different on January 1st. And you know what? Sometimes you need a couple of days to adjust from the holidays. And I really think everybody needs that reminder that it's okay if you were a lazy piece of potato the first couple days of the new year. Because let me tell you, I was.
You can change a habit on January 15th, on February 1st, in March, anytime.
You can change a habit in July.
Part of the year.
You can.
If you want to put your mind to it. It's just, you know, the pressure. The people love to do it in January.
And the pressure on social media specifically, I was seeing like on New Year's Day, like 10 a.m. Just did my first workout of the new year. Who's with me? And it's like, I'm not. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not with you at 10 a.m. on January 1st. I'm just not. I was puking my brains out from being hungover from New Year's Eve.
Right. Most people recognize it as a hangover day. I slept on my couch. Until 6 a.m. on New Year's Eve, and I woke up startled.
Right, and
startled,
and that means you had a great night.
Yep, I had a great night. But New Year's Day, I don't think I got out of bed till noon.
Exactly, and I just want everyone to understand that not everybody is getting up and after it the first couple days of January, because these two girls right here are not. They're not. They are. Nope. And it's also okay to just continue being you. Yeah. If you are happy yourself in 2023 and you want to keep being that same person in 2024, you continue being that same person.
You build on the progress you've already made.
Francesca, that's beautiful. Don't let the pressure of social media get to you and make you feel anxious, because I saw it happening all over Instagram, TikTok the past couple of days, and I said, you know what? It's okay to take it easy. It's okay to take it slow. It's okay to be lazy. Like you said, you woke up on your couch 6 a.m. Same kind of situation. New Year's Eve, had a fantastic night. Yeah. Woke up, puking my brains out, had to make a flight very quickly after that. Yeah. Got on the flight, got home to my apartment, and slept for 3 hours, woke up, ate dinner, went back to bed. Yep. I said, you know what? I'm letting myself have a hangover day, because that's what happens sometimes when you have a great New Year's Eve. You know?
I got up from the couch and was like, oh, fuck, makeup on, trudge to the bathroom, like, rub my face. I'm like, I gotta at least do something. I can't go back into bed like with all my makeup on. Joe's like asleep in the middle of the bed, and I'm like, ah, shit. Like, there's no way I'm making. I like wiggle my way into the side, just enough to where I can like throw some elbows to be like, move over.
Get like the edge of the comforter.
He was dead asleep, but eyes closed. Small smirk comes across his face. He just goes, no,
honey.
I started like dying. I was like, oh my God, move over. And he,
get back to the couch.
It's like, I'm comfy in this bed. It's a little bit of like a tight squeeze in my parents' house when everybody's there too. So I'm like, honestly, it was kind of nice to sleep on the couch but I was like, nobody wanted to wake me up. Like my brother was like, oh, I woke up at like 3. I was on the couch, saw you still asleep. I was like, wake me up.
Yeah, you looked comfy probably.
Clearly, I must have looked peaceful.
You having a good sleep.
I must have looked peaceful. But how was your time?
My time away. We were both in Florida, separate parts. Florida was cold this season. Florida was like 45, 50 degrees at some days.
I pushed it really hard. Like, there were days I was like, I will sit on the beach.
Yeah.
And I was just freezing my tushy off. Like, there's people are walking by, you know, they're walking their dogs. They've got like sweatshirts and vests on.
Yeah.
I'm like sitting in my bikini. They're like, are you good?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I will get color.
Right. I will push this. And also, yeah, people are breaking out their puffers in Florida. No, it was cold, but it was nice. It was relaxing. A lot of family time. My parents came to Marty's parents' house and we had a great day. That was a lot of fun. You know, a lot of drinks flowing, a lot of good laughs, a lot of good family time. I did a lot of cooking because when it's cold in Florida, it's not like when it's cold in New York because you're used to it being cold in New York. When it's cold in Florida, your mind, you think that you're going to be like laying by the pool all day, but then when you're not, you're like, okay, now what do we do? So I did some cooking, watched a lot of movies, kind of just really chilled out. Like it was a true like break, I would say. We were supposed to go to Disney or Universal.
Sad.
And, you know.
Mistakes happen.
Marty's dad thought he had the passes.
Mistakes happen.
He did not. And bless them, they are the best.
Yeah.
His parents are the absolute best. And I couldn't ask for better future in-laws. They seriously are the best. But we did give him some shit.
Yeah.
Because we had it all planned.
I mean, hey,
to go.
Especially when it's like kind of chilly and like it's not like
and we were
at the pool time. You're hubbing yourself up to be like, let's fucking go to Disney.
And we were like, wait, this actually might be nice, a little chill. Like it'll be nice to walk around. It won't be so hot. And then like the night before, he was like, like he didn't actually have the passes that we thought he had, and then it was sold out. So like we couldn't even buy the passes.
Yeah.
So
no, it's a busy time of year.
It's a busy time of the year.
People still want to try and get that end of the Christmas lights.
Right. And so we didn't end up going. So that was funny. We did give him shit. It ended up being funny though, and obviously it ended up being all good in the end. We just, came up with other things to do. But yeah, it was just truly like a true break. Really just chilled out, had some nice family time.
Yeah, completely same. I was in New Hampshire for Christmas with Joe's family, which was lovely. No snow, which was sad.
Disappointing.
It's just like we'll get back up there for snow for sure. But the first Christmas we did there, like it snowed this couple years ago. It just like snowed all day. And I felt like I was living in a Christmas snow globe, and it was just amazing.
Yeah.
Not a speck or a flurry this year, but Christmas was so nice. I mean, Christmas morning with little kids is just like the best.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. We flew from Connecticut to Florida, and boy, it was the worst. It was the worst flight of my life. I thought we were going down. The turbulence was so bad. It was so
not even a fun bad, just like a really bad.
Like old ladies screaming bad, like literally like hitting bumps, and I think all like people on the plane thought like there was multiple. This poor woman was like sobbing. She was like, and like audibly.
Oh no!
Like everyone's. Oh my god! People started puking.
Oh my gosh!
It was really bad.
That's
Drinks
awful.
were flying in the air.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's bad.
No, it was really bad. Poor Joe was like sweating profusely. Like he was looking at me, and he will say this about me, and I will say it about myself. He was like, you keep your composure. Like you are calm. But in the moment I was sitting there and I was just like, oh my God. And I am a notorious like eavesdropper. So people, especially on a plane, like to look over somebody's shoulder to like see who they're texting, just to be like, what you doing over there? The kid sitting next to me was definitely like a high school, I don't know, it was probably like a sophomore, junior in high school, young kid. And his whole family was to the left of him and he was sitting on the other side. His little sister's throwing up, like sad. But the Wi-Fi works perfectly throughout the whole thing, but he is like firing off Snapchats. You know how like high school kids fire off Snapchats? And he's just like, maybe he has a girlfriend. I don't know. He had someone in his phone that was like loser with the heart emoji.
Oh my God.
Like, classic. But, he's like tough guy. Like, no, like really was like kind of scared for a sec. Like, but all good now.
All
like,
good, but Plane might go down, but
like literally
all
like
good.
sending Snapchats like picture type send, picture type send, picture type send, picture type send. I was like, oh my God, it's the way the younger kids can navigate their Snapchats, crazy. That kid had like 80 new Snapchats at any given moment.
No, I can't keep up with that.
But no, we were certainly like, we got off the plane and Joe and I looked at each other and we were like, whoa.
It's a little touch and go there for a
We're
second.
like, whoa, that was and the captain like kind of warned us, but then also dropped he was just like, there might be some turbulence, and like just like didn't come back on. When we felt like it was like 30 solid minutes. Like it was not a quick short little up down like wobble for like 2 minutes and then you settle. It was 30-minute consistent.
God.
Oh fuck,
it's kind of making me like nauseous thinking about it.
And finally, when we feel like we get a little bit clear of it, flight attendant comes on and goes, well, you can't get that ride at Disneyland. And literally not a laugh in the place. Like I think everyone was like, too soon, my guy. You know, we're not really laughing about what just happened yet.
They got me laughing. Yes. That was pretty good.
It was. Now it's funny,
not funny in the moment.
Because, it was fine. Yeah. But in the moment, I was like, holy crap. Made it to Florida, safe and sound, great. It was great. Like I said, a lot of family time, dinners, yummy food, good restaurants. We went to one spot for New Year's Eve where last year family New Year's was just like kind of a debacle. Just like nothing really went well.
Yep. I heard about this.
Yeah. And we went back to the same place. And
you were like, let's get a redo.
And my sister was like, oh boy. Like last year was maybe one of the worst New Year's ever. So here we go. And it was so fun. Like Gia, no joke, started crying tears of joy at one point. Like I was like, "Are you good?" She like her eyes were watering. It was like she's like, "This is just so much fun. Like I'm just so happy that this is so much better than
she was just having
year.
Such a better time than last year.
So much better. We started a conga line through the whole restaurant. Everybody was joining in. It was just great. Good vibes.
Yeah.
Good vibes. And phenomenal food.
Right. Bring back the good vibes for New Year's Eve. That's what I'm saying. Some nice, clean family fun.
Yep.
We had New Year's Eve at home at Marty's parents' house.
It's just the way to go.
And it was like
you
really
don't need
just
the big thing.
We played beer pong in their house. We had some great food. We had the drinks flowing. We went in the hot tub right after midnight.
That's my preferred
We
New
watched
Year's.
the ball drop on the TV. And we just had a great night. You can't go wrong when you're at home with the people you love. You just can't go wrong.
You know that I'm just also like I could either be a 14-year-old girl in a 30-year-old woman's body or like an 80-year-old woman. And so like if I'm home, catch me watching the TV spot. Like people are like, I don't want to watch that Dick Clark's New Year's Eve.
Did you watch the Andy Cohen?
Oh my God, I watched that clip 9 million times. I honestly, sometimes I wish that I am home the whole time just to watch Andy Cohen and Anderson Cooper the whole time. They are John
so great.
Mayer in Tokyo cat bar clip with Anderson Cooper just giggling like a little schoolgirl was
so funny.
So funny. John Mayer being like, I don't know how many times I can explain to you the objective of this bar.
It was really funny
because Andy's dying. He's like, all right, tell me again about the bar. He's like, Andy, it's a bar with cats. I don't know how much more. This is it.
Yeah, the clips were great. I saw the one of Neil Patrick Harris and it was like, never have I ever slept with a fan. And Neil Patrick Harris said, like, if they weren't a fan before, they were a fan after. Am I right, Andy? And Anderson Cooper just starts dying laughing for like 10 minutes. So they're having a good time.
Anytime Anderson Cooper, it's just, I love when Anderson Cooper's with Andy Cohen. It's just my favorite because it's like Andy Cohen, you know he can bring the jokes and has those moments. But when Anderson Cooper like loosens up a little bit, he's a news reporter. Like he's reported on some serious stuff.
Right. And here he is with Andy Cohen.
Here he is giggling like a little baby at
cat's asses on TV.
At the cat bar. Oh my God, it was so funny. That lady that they put on the screen whose t-shirt was like, I heart porn.
Yeah. There was a lot of funny clips that came out
CNN,
of it. Classic.
No, but I do love it, and I that is the best. I think when you can just
take it all in.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of pressure. You're just like, we're at home having a good time.
Yep.
Some
of the parties do look like fun. But,
yeah, of course. We ate dinner pretty early on New Year's Eve, so by after the time the ball dropped, we went right into the hot tub, and I was like, I'm gonna secretly order Taco Bell Uber Eats for everyone, and when this Taco Bell shows up, the crowd is gonna go wild.
They're gonna carry me.
They are gonna
around the house, like
chanting my name.
Yeah.
And that is basically what happened. When I went to the door and got the Taco Bell and walked back into the living room, and everyone was like, you got Taco Bell? I was like, yes, I did. Yes, I did, ladies and gentlemen. Here you go. Have at it.
Love that move.
And that was...
Love that move.
That was fantastic. Probably, what maybe contributed to the morning of New Year's Day puking my brains out.
It could.
The food, the champagne, all of it. But it was a grand old time in the moment.
God, champagne is good, but it just kills you.
Champagne is good, but champagne is the number one hangover proponent, I think.
Oh, yeah.
So, yes, that did happen. And Marty, I know, has like a weak stomach, and he was just holding my hair the whole time, and I could just kind of just see him like turning away.
Yeah, I know, that's tough.
He's holding my hair, throwing while I'm throwing up, and I could see it in the corner of my eye behind me, him slightly
some
turning
people
away.
Are like the sympathy thrower-uppers
and me going like, sorry, and he's like, no, don't say sorry, it's okay, and I could just see it in his face, like, oh, it might happen to him too. Thankfully, it didn't.
That was me on the plane, not trying to look at the little girl across the aisle. I was like, do not look at her. Do not look at her.
When you see it's not good. And then we had to leave to the airport within 10 minutes. So I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. I'm going to be the person walking into the airport throwing up, which did not happen. Thankfully. But yeah, it was just, I would say we had similar breaks. I'm happy to be back.
Yes. Me too.
It does get to the point in the break where I'm like, oh my God, I have so much to say because there's so much happening pop culture wise. And sometimes there isn't when it's between Christmas and New Year's. Sometimes it's quiet.
Yeah.
But it seemed like there was a lot happening this time where I was like, oh, I can't wait to dive into some of this.
What movies and stuff did you watch? Because I feel like we can maybe talk about some of that before we get into the topics, considering we didn't have an episode on Monday.
Yeah,
and we got a lot to cover. We can't wait another week.
Yeah, we're not doing weekly watch report, but we watched Saltburn. So Marty and I went to Florida a day earlier than everybody else because we were like, why not? Let's just get there a day early.
See, that's where
have a nice little
you
date.
gave yourself the opportunity to watch Saltburn.
Yes, we were like, let's have a nice little sushi date night in the backyard with the fire going, which we posted on Instagram. People thought we were having a propane fire in the house. No, it's just in Florida, a lot of backyard setups in this greenhouse kind of look like living rooms just outside. And so we had the fire going. We got sushi. They have a TV. And we were like, let's put on Saltburn. I really liked it. And I will say this. I think you have to give yourself a minute to digest it.
Yeah.
And come to terms with what you watched and then decide if you liked it, right? Because watching it, first of all, I'm not going to spoil things, but I'm sure people have seen. People have talked about.
I've seen everybody talking about the scenes because I have not seen it yet. I have not had an opportunity where I've been away from my family to watch it.
Right, and you can't watch it with your family, but
I watched it with my mom. In a theater.
You and your mom alone in the theater.
Yeah. We went the day after it came out. So.
Oh, I remember you talking about that.
So at that point, I didn't really know how weird it was going to be, but still.
Listen, everyone's
in
an adult.
It's better because
there's other people around. Also, we're all adults here. There's one scene that everyone keeps talking about, the bathtub scene. That is G-rated compared to other scenes.
I saw Becca Tilley post that on her story. She's like, everyone warned me about the bathtub. Why didn't anybody warn me about fill in the blank? I don't know what.
Nobody wanted to warn me about the grave scene, which is, in my opinion, far more shocking than the bathtub scene. Genuinely, because we were prepared. I don't know. I just wasn't I was blown away by this grave scene. And Barry, the main actor, he talked about how that wasn't in the script. He improvised that part, which makes sense because when it got to that part, we were like, no way is he about to do this right now before he even did it.
Yeah.
And then he did it, and it made sense to me that he
Right.
like did it himself, like came up with it because it like kind of fit his character. But genuinely shocking. Like I was like,
Imagine you didn't tell anyone and like everyone's just on set.
that is, I think that, or
He
maybe,
must have been like,
no, I
I'm
think he
about
must
to-
have like
Yeah.
workshopped it before. But that part is what made me go, and I was cracking up. Like I
Yeah.
couldn't stop laughing at how, like,
I'm dying to watch.
how freaky he
I'm
was.
really dying to watch.
but like it fit the movie. And I just was shocked that so many people were talking about one scene and we're not talking about, would you agree, Noah, after seeing it? Like, the grave scene is more shocking than the bathtub scene.
Yeah, people aren't talking about the blood scene as well.
I wasn't too thrown off by that.
Yeah, it was just like his whole face was covered in like
Yeah,
blood,
well,
like-
yeah, that was that part. Yeah,
That was more
I
like
think it's
that was probably the most uncomfortable I was like sitting next to my mom.
right. Yeah, that's true. I think it's just because after watching the whole movie and seeing what happens
Yeah.
at the end, you then go, why are people only talking about these scenes
Yeah,
and not
I
talking
also
about the
think
rest of the movie?
Right.
Because of course those parts are like, you know,
But
I'm
the
not trying
bathtub
to.
thing was like the first thing that happened. That was like, so I think that was like, oh shit. Then by the
Right.
time you get to the grave, it's like, of course he's doing this.
Yeah, I could see that. I think it was more just maybe because I had seen people talking about these scenes so much that I wasn't so blown away and didn't see them talking about the grave scene where I was like, wait, how come
Right.
everyone's talking about that and not this?
Right.
I thought it was really good though. I really liked the movie. The ending scene, I posted a video on TikTok of Marty dancing to the song that's in the ending scene. That is going so viral on
viral.
TikTok.
Murder on the dance floor.
It has 1.7 million views. It has 200,000 likes. I'm like, I don't think I'll ever post a TikTok again. I mean, I have to, but, and it also made me so happy because I feel like people don't like see that side of Marty, but like that, you know what I mean? That like dancing,
Yeah.
like, I mean, of course people see certain sides, but like, it just made me so happy to see everyone commenting, being like, "Oh my god, he looks like so much fun." And I'm like, "Oh my god, he is." Like, you know, like I'm so proud of him. Like, get out there, dance. Like, you're doing great. But yeah, I liked
on
it
the
a lot.
dance floor.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it has stuck with me throughout the
Yeah.
entire week after watching it. Should I grade it? Like, I don't know. Maybe I won't grade it.
I got
officially.
I got time now to catch up on my stuff.
Yeah, why not just grade it?
I gotta watch. Why not? Throw it out there.
I'll give it an A.
Okay.
I'll give it an A. I really liked after like really digesting it
Yeah.
and thinking about. I'm gonna watch it again because I feel like there are things that you miss once you then understand the ending,
Right.
and then you
And the second watch is always less of the shock factor and more about
more
really
picking
like,
up on
yeah,
like
yeah,
the things that
Yeah.
you miss throughout it. Like, oh, that led to this and this led to
Yeah.
that. Phenomenal acting all around. Rosamund Pike.
She scares me in everything she does.
Well,
She's
she's so
really
good.
good.
She's so good.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, what an unbelievable actress she is. Jacob Elordi was obviously great. They were all great. It was a really good film. I'm shocked it wasn't nominated for more Golden Globes. Like Barry got nominated, but the rest, like the movie wasn't nominated.
Movie wasn't nominated.
I'm shocked by that.
Mm.
And yet December got a ton of nominations.
I mean, May
Jake
December.
Lordy was good, but he's no Charles Manson.
May December. I don't know. May December is one of those movies that like it's
But
like
Saltburn is
critically
weird.
acclaimed.
But Saltburn would be like a critic. Like it's
Yeah.
it's a strange movie.
yeah,
You know, that's
Yeah.
why I was like, I feel like they'd be all over this. I don't know, but I very much.
I've been seeing like a lot of
enjoyed it.
people. The only criticism is like it's a fun movie, but there's not a lot of like depth to like anything that's happening. That's the one thing that I've been seeing people say. Like if you actually start to think about like what was the point, like what is going on, and
What do you
there's not
mean?
like much behind it.
But there is I mean, I don't want
I
to
don't
spoil
fully agree
it.
with that.
I don't agree with that at all. I think the whole point is written in the stars after you see the whole thing, and then you go, oh, okay.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I don't want to spoil it because you're going to
Yeah,
watch it.
I am
So we
definitely
could
gonna
talk about
watch.
it more after. And I watch a couple other things, but you know, I don't know if we're doing a full week.
No, I would.
I watched.
Go ahead.
I watched The Holdovers. I thought that was really
I
cute.
watched that as well. That was definitely a good like movie to watch with the fam.
Good,
you know?
good fam watch.
I
Yeah,
did-
watched it with everybody.
Because I highly like recommended it on a past weekly Watch Report, and I saw someone DM being like, I'm never trusting Noah again. That was like the least Christmas movie I've ever watched. So boring. I'm like, what?
Aw, it like made me cry at the end.
It was
Oh my
a great
god,
movie. That's
same.
probably
I
my
thought
favorite
it was
movie
so
of the year.
good.
Aw.
I mean, it's like if you're going into it with the mindset of like, oh, this is like Elf.
Yeah, it's not
Like it's not like a
it's just
ha
set
Christmas
in,
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But like
I thought
the comedic moments weren't like overly like there's funny parts and funny
Yeah.
lines.
Yeah, I just thought it was a good
but
movie.
Same.
People
Feel good.
like I don't think he'll win, but Paul Giamatti, like people are saying he'll
Paul
definitely be
Giamatti
nominated.
was so good. I gotta know how the fuck they did his eye thing.
Yeah, that
Like
was
I kept
interesting.
googling it. He said that he like movie magic can't reveal the secret. Paul, he has a severe lazy eye in the movie.
Yeah, I don't
He
even
does
know if
not
I,
have
like,
that in real life.
Yeah, I think when I was watching it, that didn't even like. I'm just like, yeah.
I'm like, how did they do that?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, but he
Maybe
was
contacts?
Yeah, I don't know. So I thought he was so good, and Dominic Sessa so good.
Yeah, it was a feel good movie.
I
It
know.
made me cry at the end.
Something about like a new actor, never been in anything before, getting plucked from obscurity, put into a movie with Paul Giamatti.
It just
so
felt
good.
very. Like when was that set? 70s. Like
70s.
Yeah, like it just felt. Very
the way it was
70s.
filmed
Yeah.
and everything. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Yep,
I
I
watched-
really like that one because let me tell you, I did not watch like any TV.
I watched so many movies, but not really TV.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's some other things I watch. I won't really dive into everything, but I do want to touch on the Winter House reunion.
Oh yes,
Man, I just don't like Corey at all.
yeah, no,
God, I actually
No.
can't stand him.
no, bad vibes.
Bad vibes, and I think Sam will see it. She'll come to. It'll come.
There's some breakup rumors circulating right
yeah.
now.
She'll see it. It'll
Yeah.
come to her. I
Yeah.
hope.
It was, I mean, watching it back could not have been easy for her or them, like trying to be like a couple, and seeing like the earlier episodes of him kind of being like, oh, like, yeah, but like not like just fully admitting.
Listen, if you gotta beg someone to be your boyfriend, like,
Yeah.
what are we? Are we boyfriend and girlfriend? He's like, I guess. Like,
Right.
that's not a relationship you want to
Or
be
like
in. You
if
could do better
if
than
you're
that.
like in the early stages of your relationship and he's not like screaming from the rooftops that this is my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Forget it.
Forget about it.
Forget
yeah.
it.
He bad vibes, and I hope she knows she could do better than that because don't settle for that nonsense.
Yeah. Danielle dating that guy from Southern Hospitality now also like kind of, I don't know. I'm like, okay, do you, but also like what?
Listen, I want to root for Danielle,
Yeah.
and then I'm just like, I
watched a little bit of, I didn't watch all of Southern Hospitality. I watched some of it. And this like Joe Bradley fella, I was like, okay, just, gives off major fuckboy vibes, but maybe not. Maybe
yeah, I don't know.
playing it up for the cameras.
I don't know. I just my main takeaway of the Winter House reunion was, boy, do I
he's just
dislike
not-
this
yeah.
Corey man.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. That's what comes to mind from what
Yeah.
I watched this week.
Now we will have to catch up because just a note on the Bravo world, everybody is losing their shit about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City finale, which I probably just fell off a little bit like middle of the season. I think I watched up to like 8 or 9, but we're on like 15, 16 now, like finale. So I got a lot to catch up on, but just from the reactions of the Bravo universe at this finale, I got to catch up. Looks like shit went down.
Same, and I don't watch Salt Lake City, but I'm gonna have to watch this finale.
Yeah, because then it's going to roll into a great reunion.
Right. And
I saw the trailer for the reunion. They were like, not all the ladies haven't been together since they went on that trip.
and people are saying that this is one of the best episodes of Housewives ever. So
Yeah.
we have to watch. No Beverly Hills last week, okay? Which upset me because the ending of the episode before last week.
Right. Was
When
Erica
Jane calls out
Yep.
Denise Richards' daughter's OnlyFans.
Yep.
And I just have to say, Erica Jane, and I said it before, she has a new fan in me this season.
Yeah.
She does.
Yeah, she's carrying for sure right now. She's bringing it.
Listen,
She's bringing it.
She is bringing it.
She's
And,
risen from the dead.
And I can't wait for the episode tonight. It's Wednesday.
Yeah.
I will be going home tonight and watching the new episode of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills
Live
at 8 p.m.
live.
That's where you will catch me tonight. All right, let's get into the topics.
Yeah.
We have a lot to talk about.
We do.
A lot to talk about. A lot of
I
giggles.
did watch Wonka.
Oh, how
by the
was
way.
it?
I know you guys want to see it.
How was it?
Did you like it?
I liked it. Definitely not as much as the original,
Yeah.
but it's just a different type of movie. Like, it's corny, but
Yeah.
it's good. Like,
Yeah.
and it's good they call back to like original things in the, you know.
Right. That's right. I feel like
It's just like nostalgic.
I feel like I've seen criticism of it, but at the end of the day, like harmless movie musical.
yeah, yeah.
You know?
Right.
I did think there
For
was
fun.
like
Yeah.
a little. They could have cut out a couple songs maybe. But
Right.
I was like, oh, everything's a musical. Like he walks down the street, it's a musical. But
Yeah.
That's what I kept seeing, that it's like very, very, very musical.
People,
Yeah.
people don't love the movie musicals, which is sad because I fucking love.
And you can tell though, like when he's singing, they like did something to his voice. Like they helped him out. Where like
Of course, they pulled
No,
the,
no, I know, but, like,
they pulled the
no-
Drew Seeley, Zac Efron.
everything in a movie
no, but
musical
like when
is,
Gene Wilder like
is-
sounded like I think he was actually just singing.
well, technology has changed.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't make movies like this.
And also
like,
Gene Wilder, it wasn't like as musical as this seems to be.
Yeah.
Like they had songs in Willy Wonka,
Right.
but this seems like to be full on musical. Now I haven't seen it, you have, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
the Drew Seeley, Zac Efron technique.
Zac Efron, I saw the Iron Claw too.
Did you? How was
Yeah.
that?
Very depressing.
Yeah.
Really?
That's, everyone said it's really good,
I-
but really
I
sad.
purposely avoided like looking up the story because I didn't know the
Mm-hmm.
story. Although I saw so many TikToks and I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but like
Yeah.
it's very
Yeah, it's sad.
sad. But it was amazing. Like
Was Zac Efron as good as everyone's
yes,
saying he
yes.
is? Like everyone's saying like Oscar
No,
nominated
definitely.
Zac Efron.
Yeah, he
Ugh.
is.
God, I hope so. I'd be so happy for him.
If Zac Efron got nominated for an Oscar,
Huh.
I
all
think
is
he
right in
should
the
be
world.
at least nominated. Like, I mean, it's gonna be tough to beat like Cillian Murphy, but
Right.
in Paul Giamatti, like I don't think he would win, but he definitely
He
deserves.
Who
it.
do you think it would be?
nominated.
Cillian Murphy for
Paul Giamatti,
Paul Giamatti, Ba-
Bradley Cooper. I saw
Bradley
Maestro.
Cooper,
Bradley Cooper.
Barry Cohen, right? That's how you pronounce his last
I
name.
don't.
yeah, I don't know.
He
for,
was
like,
nominated
a lead actor.
He could maybe get supporting.
supporting.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's hard. Like, who was the lead actor in Saltburn? Like, was there? Like, they were both kind of just like co.
Right, which is normally when they just go to supporting.
You think?
Sometimes, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
What did he get nominated in the Golden Globe category? Was it
I
supporting?
forget.
I don't know.
But yeah,
Because
then
he's like the main. Actually,
Right.
he is like the main guy in Saltburn.
so Leo in Killers.
oh, I
of the
watched
Flower-
Killers of the Flower Moon too.
and then there's a lot of
Yeah,
there's a
I
lot
would
of
say
nominations.
Leo, Killian, and Paul Giamatti and Bradley Cooper. Bradley Cooper is like that's the type of movie that the Oscars like love.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
Did you try to watch it?
I tried to watch it,
See,
and
Killers of the Flower Moon?
Maestro,
Oh, Maestro.
and I left the room.
honestly,
I was like really.
Understood.
I was. To be fair, we all put it on when
He did get it was
leaving?
best performance by an actor in motion picture drama at the Golden Globes. So
Yeah.
you know.
To be fair, it was late at night when we put the movie on. I was already sleepy.
You can't put a black and white movie on when you're already
Exactly.
tired.
So
It's not
half
all
an
black and
hour
white.
in, I was like, "Listen, I gotta go to bed."
Yeah.
And so
that's what I did though.
I removed myself from the situation, and so I can't be a fair judge because I just was really sleepy.
I originally put it on and was like, I'm bored, and turned it off. And then my grandma was like yelling at me, like, you have to watch, you have to like appreciate this man. And like, so I watched it, and I didn't like. It was a great movie, and he did an amazing job. But it just, I'm like,
Not your fave.
it's not meant for me. I feel like it is meant more for my grandma's generation, to people
Right.
who like grew up knowing him.
But I do think Bradley Cooper will get the
Oh, he'll
nomination for
definitely
that
get nominated.
because I mean the transformation he
Even
did
like
was
directing
crazy.
too, like the fact
Yeah.
that he directed that
Yeah.
as well.
Oh, could he get a director nom?
I think so. I think so.
Did he get
Bradley
one for the
Cooper,
Golden Globes?
Talented guy.
He is a
He
talented
did.
guy.
He did get one for Golden Globes.
It is kind of crazy to think like, and I saw him talking about it in the actors, like, how do you direct yourself? He had to like sit in a chair for like makeup every day for like hours, and then he has to direct and he has to act. Like, it's a
Right.
lot.
That is a lot. Very impressive. But there's a lot of good movies and a lot of good, like we're heading into award season, so now's the time to catch up on everything,
Yeah.
folks.
It was a year of good movies. I feel like I'm more in the know about the movies this year than
years prior.
more
I agree.
previous ones.
You know what movie I watched last night that I think you guys were like, Angus Cloud's, I don't know if it's his last movie, but it's called Your Lucky Day. It's just like a
Never heard of it.
It came out this year, but basically someone wins a like $150 million lottery ticket in a gas station, and Angus Cloud's character is there, and then he tries to rob them, and then it's like the whole movie is them like stuck in a gas station trying to figure out how to like get the money. But it's good. It's a fun little movie.
I also really did you see Poor Things?
No, that one.
No, but I heard about that.
I really want to see
Everyone
Poor
was
that's in the
Things.
theater.
raving
That's the one
about
with
it.
Emma Stone. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the trailer makes me think, I'm like, I don't think I'll like this. It seems like so weird that I don't
Yeah.
even think. I don't know.
I don't know. Anytime that any movie is being talked about that much and in
People are
talked
raving
about
about it.
for the awards and everything, like I'm at least curious to watch
That's
whether
like
I like it or not.
That's number one on a lot of people's lists. I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Yep.
What would be your number one so far this year that you've seen?
Oh, I can't. I don't think I can
Last
stay
year.
yet. I have not watched enough.
Oh, last year, I guess.
Uh,
Wow.
Holdovers is probably my favorite, but like there were so many good ones. I watched a ton of scary movies this week. Have you guys heard about Talk to Me? I'm sure you have.
No.
That's like the scary movie everyone raved about this year. That was so good.
I like can't get into the scary movies because they actually scare me. When I was younger, I wasn't scared of scary movies, and now I
Yeah.
am. They're like they're too realistic to me these
Yeah.
days.
I think the Holdover, Killers of the Flower Moon was great. I watched that, but it's so long. like
Mhm.
3.5 hours is a long.
Yeah,
time.
it's tough to pick
That's great. That's
tough to pick a
that's
favorite.
Really long. That's really long.
But Robert De Niro, I feel like he'll get like a supporting.
It's gonna be a good. I'm actually excited for the awards.
When are the Oscars?
Coming up? The Golden Globes and then Oscars.
Oscars are February, or maybe later. I don't know.
I saw that they put out like the Oscars.
The Golden Globes are this weekend.
The Oscars like
Sure.
short list, you know what I'm saying? And Barbie makeup wasn't even on it, so people were like upset about that, which I can totally see. Like hair and makeup for Barbie not being on.
I feel
the,
like
Right.
Barbie. I don't even know what that would win. I don't think that's gonna win like anything.
it might win something.
Like soundtrack, maybe,
original
like score.
original songs.
The songs.
songs.
I'm just
The songs
10.
for
Brian
sure.
Gosling wins for
I think
I
Billie.
feel like
I think
Billie
Billie Eilish.
Billie
Yeah.
Eilish or Dua Lipa's nominated.
Oh yeah, Dua Lipa.
When are these bad boys?
The
Wait,
Oscars?
Who is
Yeah.
hosting the Oscars?
March 10th. Oh, it's okay. It's a little bit later. I don't think they've said,
Oh, they don't. It's probably Jimmy Kimmel.
unless it is just Jimmy Kimmel. I don't know.
That's just like default.
Yeah.
Good old Jimmy Kimmel.
Yep.
If he's not in jail by then.
Yeah, not if Aaron Rodgers gets him first.
Oh, who knew we had such a feud between those two?
Yeah.
It is Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. That's why he's so pissed
Jimmy
at
Kimmel
Aaron
back to
Rodgers.
host Oscars for the 4th time.
Don't ruin my Oscars.
Yep.
All right, let's get into the topics because we have a lot
Let's
to
do
dive
it.
into. I think a lot of giggles are coming our way because there were some interesting things that happened. We're going to get into all the Gypsy Rose content that
She's
has been unleashed upon us. If you have been a listener of this podcast for a long time, Fran and I were very into The Act in 2019 when that came out. The story
Loved it.
of Gypsy Rose and her mom. It was Patricia Arquette and Joey King. They did a phenomenal job. And now Gypsy Rose is out. She is free. And she's
in her
really in her influencer era,
Yeah.
it seems.
Yep.
Bachelor drama, hot and heavy to start the new year.
A lot going on.
A lot going on. Kaitlyn Bristowe and Jason Tartick, I think both of them should have their phones taken away, but they are posting a ton on social media. A lot of speculation
Yeah.
about Kaitlyn and Zach maybe dating. Jason giving his 2 cents here and there. Rachel Lindsay and Brian divorce. He filed right in the new year. They apparently have been living separate lives. Selena Gomez says she only has one more album left in her. She's going to do her focus into Rare Beauty, which, Rare Beauty is great, so I do not blame her. And Aaron Rodgers and Jimmy Kimmel, a little feud about the Epstein client list that has yet to be revealed, that everyone's been waiting for because we're told 2 weeks ago it was going to be released on January 2nd. Has not been released. So let's get into it. Let's get right into the topics, huh?
Let's do it.
Hinge is the dating app designed to be deleted. Why is that, you ask? Hinge gives you a sense of someone's personality and lets you share your own. Maybe your New Year's resolution is to get into the dating app game. So why don't you look right at Hinge? You get to know potential dates through their unique answers to prompts, plus get a sense of someone's dating intentions and what they're looking for. I know a ton of Hinge success stories. Personally, in my life, my brother met his wonderful fiance on Hinge, and let me tell you, as soon as they met each other, started hanging out, started dating, they deleted the app and were committed to each other, and now they're getting married in November 2024. So we could all thank Hinge for them meeting each other. And I know Fran knows her friends have met some lovely people on Hinge as well. On Hinge, there are no rules, timers, or games. If you're feeling inspired, give Hinge a try this year. Download Hinge today and find someone worth deleting the app for. Once again, download Hinge today. Give it a shot. Why not? If you're feeling like you want to get into the dating game, find someone, you never know what you can find on Hinge. So right now, download Hinge today. Find someone worth deleting the app for. But first, you got to download it and give it a shot. Once again, download Hinge and find someone worth deleting the app for. Gypsy Rose is free. She was released from prison on December 28th, I believe. People were talking about that for weeks. And there was a little bit of a back and forth of whether or not, you know, should we be posting about Gypsy Rose? Should people be interested in her life? Should we?
Right.
Should
she really become like a celebrity?
Yeah. Should she be a celebrity? Should she be left alone? Now, I'm in the camp of, at first I was like, you know what? I really think Gypsy is going to need a lot of help after she gets out of prison. She was tormented by her mother and then got someone to kill her mother, and then was in prison for 8 years. And that, you know, can really, really do something to a person. So I was in the camp of, you know what, get Gypsy out of prison and get her the help she needs to live a sustainable life afterwards. Gypsy took the route of, I'm going to become a TikTok, Instagram influencer, and I'm going to feed into all this. And now it's confusing, because I think at first it was like, all right, let's leave Gypsy alone, right? Like, we're excited Gypsy is free, or, you know, I don't know.
Was it that way, though? I feel like everybody was pumped for her to be out and, like, be doing stuff and interviews, and she's got the Lifetime special coming out, and, like, were we ever ready to leave her alone? I don't think so.
Right. Well,
I'm not talking about...
Yes.
I'm talking about myself specifically. Was more like, Gypsy needs to get some...
Would you have her on the show?
Yes.
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 100%.
Now that I know that Gypsy wants it, yes. At first, I felt a little like bad, like, you know, maybe she wants to be left alone,
right? But
no, she doesn't. She wants. She's like a clout chaser.
Gypsy, look, guys, she got out of prison. It's been a week. She has over 6 million Instagram followers.
It's crazy. Like, I just don't know if this is the healthiest.
And I am one of them.
Yeah, I just don't know if this is the healthiest route for Gypsy.
Who is being a mega, like, the healthiest route for anybody?
What else do you want her to do?
Yeah,
specifically for Gypsy, who got someone to kill her mother.
Like,
I don't know.
I don't know, like...
But, like, if it's there for the taking, like, she can make money.
Right.
No, right. If it is there for the taking, who can blame her?
Like, she gets a job at, like, CBS?
I'm not saying if I was in Gypsy's shoes, I wouldn't be doing the same thing as Gypsy. I'm just saying it's maybe not the healthiest. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it if I was Gypsy.
To be a star.
But Gypsy's a clout chaser.
We're going to have to put her face on that star and take off Zac Efron's.
Listen... It's just crazy, the world that we live in. I
100%.
think is what I am trying to get to here.
Yes.
With
if you
this
take
Gypsy
a step
Rose stuff.
out of what is happening and look down at it.
If you look deep into what has happened.
I'm sorry, what?
And you look into this backstory, right?
Yeah.
Gypsy Rose, who was tormented by her mother, her mom had Munchausen's syndrome by proxy, made Gypsy believe she had cancer, told everyone Gypsy had cancer, multiple surgeries performed on her, had to be fed through a feeding tube, multiple medications. What were these doctors doing? They knew this girl wasn't sick. There's so much to be uncovered within this story. She got to the breaking point of meeting a strange man online to kill her mother, and then her mother was killed by this man who's still, he's still paying the price.
Yeah.
Gypsy wishes she never got her mother to be killed. She said she wishes her mom was rotting in jail. Because what she was doing was a crime. She didn't realize her mom was sick in the head.
Yeah.
She just wanted her to die. And there's just a lot uncovered here. And now she's a star.
Right.
It's like,
and she is only 32. Like, she's young.
Yeah. And let me tell you, and this is coming from Gypsy's mouth, not mine.
Mm-hmm.
She's getting it. She's getting that fire D.
Right. Well, because at some point we're learning so much about her.
I didn't see that.
this.
No.
Oh my
I've
God.
been trying to avoid it.
I sent it in the chat earlier.
She
It
got
weirds me out.
married. She got married. She's had a few relationships.
Yeah.
While she's been behind bars.
Until I got here and asked Sarah and Jordan, I'm not even kidding. I thought that the boyfriend is the one that killed. Like, I thought that she was still with this guy and somehow he wasn't in jail.
No. He got life.
Yeah, that makes sense.
She's had relationships, and she married this guy, and now she's out and they're together.
Yes, and so he's posting on Instagram now too. They are loving this life that they. You know what? She probably, probably wants to make money. Who's gonna hire Gypsy Rose, right? She's probably like, this is how I'm gonna make my money. So, like I said, do I blame her? No, I just don't know if it's healthy. Now, Ryan, her husband, posts pictures.
Yes,
sweet Ryan.
Ryan Anderson.
And Gypsy Rose comments, Ryan, don't listen to the haters. I love you and you love me. We do not owe anyone anything. Our family is who matters. If you get likes and good comments, great. If you get hate, then whatever, because they don't matter. I love you. Besides, they're jealous because you are rocking my world every night. Yeah, I said it. The D is fire. Happy wife, happy life. Gypsy is getting it.
She's a horn
Ryan
dog.
is laying it down on Gypsy every night.
She's a horn
years.
dog. She's been in prison for a long time. And not only has she been in prison, but she's been in prison where you are like the frustration, because it's not like you're just single in prison.
Yeah.
She's been married.
She's sexually
Wait,
frustrated.
how did they meet? Like he
I
wrote to her in prison?
Yeah, I think it's one of those.
I'd be skeptical about this guy.
I think it's one of those situations.
No, right, because
Maybe he's a clout chaser.
no offense to Gypsy, but who's marrying Gypsy? Like we
But
need,
it's
like
in prison.
right. Who's meeting Gypsy in prison and marrying her? Not a guy I trust.
Anyone who just wants fame. Or
Right.
like-
And he commented back to her, who said I gave a damn about what these jealous people say anyway? Ha ha. Now come and get it, baby. This is what's happening.
So Gypsy told People magazine about her marriage. Now, they got married in 2022. They met in 2020. I think the only fear that I have is honestly just making sure that we have a good conflict resolution. I am a very in the moment type of person, so I want to make sure if we have an argument, I want to clear it up in the moment. He is the opposite, where he has to sit on things and think about it and then come back a couple hours later and resolve it. During Gypsy's time in prison, her relationship with Anderson had been entirely long distance, and it lacked the intimacy of Skype or Zoom calls or even text messages. Gypsy is excited about living with Anderson, but says it will be an adjustment. I've never lived with a man, she says. I grew up with my mom, so I didn't even grow up with a dad in the house. So I'm like, I don't even know what it's like to live with a man. He picked her up from the prison last week, and they are living the married life. So, look, we're going to learn a lot more. I also think I could not be more excited for this Lifetime special that's coming out.
Yeah.
It's January 5th. The article said the couple's relationship prior to Gypsy's release will be explored in Lifetime's new docuseries, The Prison Confessions of Gypsy Rose Blanchard, premiering January 5th. The pair met after Anderson, who is a special education teacher from Louisiana, watched the 2017 HBO documentary about her story and blindly mailed Gypsy a letter in 2020. Their relationship flowered from there. Even though they were only allowed limited contact Says Anderson, there's not much she doesn't know about me. The couple is focusing on maintaining their closeness despite the attention coming their way.
I just don't trust this kind of man who is seeking out Gypsy. I feel like it's a control thing. Like, I don't want Gypsy to be controlled anymore in her life. Okay, her mom severely abused her.
Yep.
Tormented her for her whole life.
Yep.
Was slowly killing her, basically.
Yep.
And you know, I don't know what to speak on the murder part. You know what I mean? Like, Gypsy felt like she had to do what she had to do, I guess. But clearly, you know, this was severe abuse on Gypsy.
Yeah.
Who then went through lengths to find a man to kill her mom.
Yep.
Gypsy needs help. Gypsy, you know what I mean?
Right.
I you know, after prison, after this life that she has lived.
Well, maybe she's gotten some while she's been in prison.
Maybe so.
I don't know. I'll be honest. I've kept up, obviously, with like the major headlines, but like I feel like this docuseries is really what we're gonna have to dive into, because then we're hearing it from her own mouth of like how it's been going for her in prison.
Right. That is true. I just I worry.
It's a lot.
I worry for Gypsy.
It's a lot.
I don't feel like this is the end of her story.
I know, and she's on everything. I mean, I just had like my parents had the news on the other night. Just NBC Nightly News popped on. They're like, and next up, Gypsy Rose Blanchard talking to what? Like she's everywhere. She's everywhere.
And it is one of the most interesting stories.
She is on social media. So.
Yeah, it's one of the most interesting stories. Like, I mean, it's a crazy...
What's going to be her first brand deal?
Skims.
Oh boy, it's gonna be something good.
It's gonna be something. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. I'm like, so, you know, I'm watching.
Yeah,
I am taking in what's happening.
This is the monster of the world that we have created.
This is the amount of monsters this world creates is crazy. And I just, you know, and it's one of those things that people fight about online, right? Because on one hand, you got one person going, free Gypsy, do your thing, girl, like, get out there. And then another person going, she killed her mother. And then the other person going, well, it was self-defense. And then another person going, well, if that was self-defense, why didn't she call the cops? If she was able to reach out to a boyfriend, why didn't she reach out to the cops? Yep. It's an endless cycle of how to decipher on how to feel about Gypsy Rose going forward. And this isn't the end of Gypsy Rose's story. We are going to be learning more and more about her every single day.
We are. And I think everyone's gonna be locked into,
and especially her relationship.
Story.
Now we're into her relationship.
It's not like it's just her free from prison. Yeah, like living a new life. It's just like her out and also married,
talking about her sex life online.
Yep.
Talking about how that D is fire, rocking her world every night.
Yep, fire
information we didn't ask for, but we received. Yeah. Ryan's really throwing it. All right. Oh man. Moving on. We will stay up to date with this. We will keep lying in between the lines of who knows how to feel about this. Moving on. Bachelor drama.
Hey. It's the Kaitlyn Zach thing is tough for me personally to navigate. Yep. Because like Zach and I are friends. Mm-hmm. I went to the Super Bowl with his whole family. Yeah, you know, like we're buds. Mm-hmm. And we talk about the Eagles, and you know we're friendly, and like he's a great guy. Mm-hmm. I don't know what's going on in his love life at all. Yeah, and that's not something that I ask. Yeah, that's crossing a boundary. But when I saw this picture of him and Kaitlyn that had everybody freaking out that he went to Kaitlyn's New Year's Eve shindig, and you know their arms are wrapped around each other, and I thought, it's gonna be drama. It's gonna be drama no matter what, regardless. And I do think it's like single people talking to single people, which is fine. Mm-hmm. And I do not think Zach and Jason were ever like besties that this is like crossing a line. Mm-hmm. Did I think Kaitlyn / Zach both would maybe not date within the Bachelor universe post their relationships? Yes, I did.
Yeah, I thought so too, because Kaitlyn has now had 2 engagements that did not work out in the Bachelor universe. I thought that maybe she would go, okay, let me try.
And we're friends with Kaitlyn too.
Right. And like you said, I think them two date, like, whatever.
Like, if they want to date,
like, I
absolutely.
think
for them to get all this shit of like, oh, there's cheating, or like, this is crossing a line, or like shitting on them. It's like, is it really? They're just like, and we don't even really know what's going on.
Right. We don't know what's going on. And I think, like you said, they're single. And Kaitlyn commented, like, stop with the whole, like, there was no cheating that happened.
Yeah.
Like, and we haven't, nobody has confirmed.
And Jason have been separated for a while, too.
I think they were separated longer than they even announced.
Yeah, like, it's been a few months. It's not crazy for her to
right.
invite someone that maybe she isn't interested in during New Year's Eve party.
And I think if Kaitlyn and Zach are dating or whatever, talking, I think that part is like, whatever, who cares? I think it's the social media posting is where it gets a little crazy.
Right.
I think 3 people need to have their phones taken away: Gypsy Rose, Kaitlyn Bristowe, and Jason Tartick. I think that they like just need a little break. You know, Kaitlyn has to stop letting the internet like win almost.
Yeah.
Because I think she thinks that she's coming back at them, like, but she's almost feeding into it, and it's
so hard.
And I get it though. It is so hard when people are coming for you and saying the most disgusting things possible. Like, people don't realize that, like, what you see in comments or whatever is not the worst of it.
Yeah.
People DM the most disgusting things you could ever imagine to people on the internet that go far beyond a little comment of whatever. It gets really dark, it gets really deep, and I don't think anybody deserves that. And I think if Kaitlyn is getting that, it's really fucked up, because she really doesn't deserve it. And she posted that on her story. Like, stop. Like, it is really, people don't understand. They say, oh, what could she possibly be getting? People are dark and they're crazy, and I've seen some shit.
Yeah. And
I can expect that what she is getting is not even close to what you think she is getting. So I think just, that
and
part
those
of
people
it,
are so deep into the cesspool, like that. But that also, like, having her recognize them,
it like fuels them. Right, it fuels them. That is why I'm saying they need a social media break.
Yeah.
Is just to help themselves, because literally, like, you can't care about what all these people are saying all the time if you want to do what you want to do. You know, it's like an endless cycle, but it is really hard. So I do understand her point, being like, this is really getting to me, but at the same time being like, I don't care what you say, but then posting it. It's like an endless cycle. And then you got
it's the same with Jason too.
And
like,
then you got
Jason making like side comments,
like when people are like, oh, with, you know, Jason, your start of the new year should be January 2nd. He's like, I agree. It's like, you're just feeding into it, and it's just an endless cycle of the online social media. Whereas, like, sometimes if you just let it blow over, which, like I said, is really hard.
Yeah.
But if you just let people comment things and let them get it out of their system, and then you let it blow over, then they eventually stop. And then it's like, whatever, do what you want to do.
Yeah.
But it is really hard.
It is very hard. But, like, you know, this is, I'm sure it's a pairing that I don't think a lot of people saw coming, so there's like a shock value to it, where they're like, oh my God, what? And then they decide that they want to say nasty things about it.
Right. And, like, this kind of situation does not deserve hate to Kaitlyn. Like,
single people, both of them. And it's like, there's no, yes, Kaitlyn and Tayshia have like hosted seasons together, but like, do you see Kaitlyn and Tayshia going out on a Friday night, like having a glass of wine and hanging out? Like, no, like I don't think, you know, like I'm sure there's a lot of people in the Bachelor world that like they have friendships, but they're like, they're surface level.
Yeah.
Like, it's
I
not
can
like
almost
crazy.
guarantee Tayshia doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like, if I had to put money on it, I bet Tayshia doesn't care at all. She seems to be happy in her relationship with Luke.
Tayshia and Zach has been years.
Yeah.
So,
I could see
like,
her just not caring at all.
Yeah.
I think maybe for Jason it's a little more fresh, so maybe that's why he cares. But I think people, like, don't be sending hate to anybody on the internet. It's like, it's just, why, you know what I mean? When you really step out and you look at the situation, you go, do people do they deserve to be getting disgusting things said to them over this? No.
Who knows? We don't know. We don't know what's going on in their personal lives. But, you know, maybe these two are perfect for each other.
Yeah, maybe.
You know? You don't, like, it's like, what do you, why? just let them live.
Yeah, I think
Just let them live.
also, it's been a while since we've had some Bachelor drama. I think people get excited. They're like, oh, we got some Bachelor drama, start of the new year. Let's get into it.
Yep.
So that is why I say they should get off their phones, because I think it would just benefit them in terms of like not caring,
Yeah.
And like I said, it is so hard. It is so
It
hard
is. It
to
is
not care when people are
so-
saying the most vile things to you.
And I think Kaitlyn gets a lot of shit. She does.
Yeah.
So that's tough. And hopefully it does blow
I'm
over.
rooting for happiness on all angles.
Yeah, I agree.
I hope Jason finds his happiness.
Yep.
I hope Kaitlyn finds her happiness. And who knows what Zach's thinking right now,
Yeah.
because he's been quiet, which is
It's the way to be.
probably the way,
Sometimes, you know, it's-
just
yeah.
sometimes the way
Yeah,
to go. And I do understand that they feel they need to address it, but at that point it's like cryptic messages only makes people wonder more.
Right,
right. Who knows the truth and this and that.
Right.
It's like, well, now people are now wondering more and
Right.
more. So rooting for everyone's happiness. I hope they all figure it out on that end.
Yeah.
Rachael, Lindsay, and Brian, divorce.
Divorce.
On the other spectrum of not happiness, they're getting divorced.
Yeah. This was I mean, I don't know. I think like the timing of this is what made this interesting, because I think if this came out like 6 months ago, I would have been like, okay. We don't see too much of their relationship, and we never have. That's always been their thing. They've never been like outwardly posting a shit ton about each other on social. For a while they were doing like the whole bi-coastal marriage thing. Like I think he's Florida based and she was in it like working and all this stuff. So it just seemed like it has not ended. It seems like it was an amicable split is what it feels like. Brian put out a statement on his Instagram, but Brian is the one who filed for divorce. And they put the date as, December 31st, 2023. It's probably not really the date, but allegedly they were the first divorce of 2024 in LA County, I think.
The first of many to come of 2024.
So I took a screenshot of this because I thought it was really interesting, and like, who knows the validity of this and whatnot. Because, it is coming from Reddit, but the Bachelor Data account posted this post that's from the Bachelor Reddit, where someone wrote in saying that they are a divorce lawyer in LA. She said, based on my observation and professional experience, I'm actually a divorce lawyer in LA. They probably agreed that 12/31/23 is the date of separation, or conversely, they didn't agree on that specific date. But Brian, the lower income earner, wants the marriage to be as long as possible to recoup the maximum community property benefits. For instance, if Rachel got a big bonus at the end of 2023, you want to argue for a date of separation of 12/31 rather than like 12/1 as a legal strategy. A date of separation is often a complicated and thorny factual issue to be decided by the courts. I wouldn't be surprised if Rachel Lindsay files a response with a different date. Their case number indicates that this was the first divorce case filed in LA Central District in 2024. The petition was signed on 1/1/24. I can't imagine they actually separated on 12/31, then found an attorney like within 24 hours on a holiday, prepared the paperwork, and filed. That's wildly unlikely. This was pre-planned and pre-12/31/23. Also note that checking the box for spousal support, because that was what everybody was focusing on, that Brian was filing for spousal support. And arguing a later date of separation doesn't on its own make Brian an asshole. It's entirely possible it's just a legal strategy from his lawyer and not from him specifically. Wait and see if he actually seeks spousal support by filing a motion. So that's, pretty good insight, because you see filing for spousal support and you're like, all right, dude, like,
yeah,
you're coming for her money, is what that feels like. And I think I saw something also that there was no prenup. But if what it says amicable split, maybe they
can figure out something on their own.
Split their assets and have it be that. I think they have like a home in LA or in California or something. But yeah, it was also just interesting because Rachel was literally just on Nick Viall's podcast like 3 weeks ago, talking about her relationship with Brian and talking about like the social media presence that they have and kind of saying that there's been times when they've like lived totally separate lives. So that never was like a red flag for me when she talked about that stuff, because it seemed like that's how it always was. Like that's what they agreed upon when they were going into the marriage, and that's what they were happy with, and that was going to be the plan. And maybe one day that would change, but this was like the agreement that they came up with and they were good with. And didn't work out.
Yeah, it didn't work out for them.
Did not work out, sadly.
And I think people were confused because she seemed like they were fine on Nick Viall's podcast, but like sometimes podcasts are recorded way before, and I'm sure this has been going on for a while, but like before
Right.
Right.
Also, Rachel Lindsay isn't going to go on Nick's podcast and be like, hey, to be completely honest, I'm having some marriage issues right now.
Yeah, we're actually separated.
Yeah.
I think she's, asked about it. She's probably just going to play it cool.
Yep.
So, sorry for them, but I also hope they find their happiness in the same boat of
100%.
of Jason and
100%.
Kaitlyn and Zach. I hope everyone finds their own
who's on their
happiness.
path? The royal wedding. Gary
Oh my
is
God.
to be wed tomorrow.
Guys, we were invited
We got invited
to Gary's wedding.
last minute.
Last minute
Not
invite.
by Gary.
Not by Gary, but by ABC. And we couldn't swing it.
We can't get to the location.
We can't.
It's tough.
It's not feasible for us.
It's not feasible from where we are right now. But we wish we could be there.
We wish we could be there. And if maybe we knew in advance.
Right. If the invite came a few days before.
Maybe if the invite came like a week before, maybe we would have made it happen. But day before,
Yeah, no.
not going to work.
Nope.
But happy for them.
Exactly. That's a big thing. Big wedding special.
Yeah, big special coming your way.
Have you found any subscriptions you forgot about or any you paid for twice and didn't realize? Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills. I can see all of my subscriptions in one place, and if I see something I don't want, I can cancel it with just a tap. I never have to get on the phone with customer service. They'll even try to get you a refund for the last couple months of wasted money and negotiate to lower your bills for you up to 20%. All you have to do is take a picture of your bill, and Rocket Money takes care of the rest. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has helped save its members an average of $720 a year with over 500 million in canceled subscriptions. This is a great way to start the new year. Fresh 2024. Make sure you're not taking any of those unwanted subscriptions into the new year. Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and manage your money the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/chicks. That's rocketmoney.com/chicks. rocketmoney.com/chicks.
Moving on, Selena Gomez, she says that her next album will be her last.
Yeah.
She's focusing on Rare Beauty. I think we all expected this from Selena.
Yeah, I don't know how much I totally believe this.
I don't even believe she's putting out a next album.
Yeah. Oh no, I do think she's gonna put out another album. I just don't know. Music is such a crazy thing. Like when you're an artist, I feel like you could say, hey, I really think that this is my last album, but 10 years from now, who knows? You never know.
If she feels it in her bones.
Yeah, you never know. Something inspiration strikes.
Right.
You never know. But if I loved her last album. So I would love some Selena bops.
I mean, she has access to a great producer.
She sure does.
She does. Wow.
She sure
that's so
does.
true. They seem
and
to
boy,
be.
do they seem more in love.
They
than,
do. They
than
seem to be
ever,
happy
every
and in
day.
love.
I know. So, I hope we get that album soon. I also saw a Page 6 article about that Britney is potentially working on a new music as well, and she's one who said she was not gonna do any new music. So, and that she's they're tapping into. She wants Charlie XCX and Julia Michaels to be writers. Great choices. Fantastic choice. Boy, would they write some fucking hits for Britney.
Yeah.
So,
hey, we'll take all the new music we can get, and then we'll decide if we like it after.
exactly. I think Selena might feel right now this is the last she has in her, and maybe that's where she is in her life, happy in a relationship. Maybe she thinks this is it, and this is good, and she's gonna write her final album that may have some Benny-centric tones.
It's nice to see Selena in a happy relationship. Did you see, though, on New Year's Eve, she liked... This is where Selena gets herself in trouble.
I don't think I even saw this.
Maybe add her to the list of people who should sometimes get their phone taken away.
Yeah.
She liked a video of talking about Justin Bieber. Where it was an old video where someone was like, how has your relationship with Justin Bieber impacted your life?
Yeah.
And she was like, truthfully, I don't think anybody really cares. And she liked this old video. It's just like, why? You know what I mean? Maybe it was an accidental like.
Yeah,
maybe it was an accidental like.
Maybe.
But sometimes people just say, why?
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
I saw that all over.
That's fair.
And sometimes I'm like, is this real or is this fake? Like, did someone Photoshop her liking this?
Right.
Because, you're not going to the actual post and seeing if she liked it.
Because it's very hard to do that sometimes,
And people Photoshop a lot of fucking shit. They really do. And that's what's dangerous about the internet. So sometimes I'm like, is this even real?
Yeah.
Did she really like this? Or is this doctored? Is that what they say?
Doctored, yes, correct.
Yeah, is this doctored?
Correct term. Is this a doctored image?
Yeah, is this a doctored image, a doctored screen recording?
Yep.
Who knows with AI and everything these days?
Exactly.
So I don't know if that was real, but I did see it. But it seems like her and Benny are happy.
I know, I agree. And if she's got one last album in her,
give it to
I'll
us.
listen.
Give it to us. We'll listen.
Give it.
She's put out some bops.
She
Can't
has.
keep my hands to myself.
Yep.
I love that song. Last topic. A couple of weeks ago, they said the Epstein client list was going to be revealed on January 2nd. So on January 2nd, everyone was waiting around. Where's the list? Where's the list? Where's the list? Obviously, we're not getting this damn list because the people on the list are paying the people who are putting out the list.
The people on the list can file 9 million motions to make sure that the list doesn't come out. Isn't that kind of what's happening?
Lizzo really doesn't want it.
Yeah.
Lizzo.
You're going to find yourself in trouble like Aaron Rodgers and Jimmy Kimmel. So Aaron Rodgers said that Jimmy Kimmel's on this list. And Jimmy Kimmel did not like this comment from Aaron Rodgers.
No.
He was very unhappy that Aaron Rodgers said this. And he wrote, "Dear asshole, for the record, I've not met, flown with, visited, or had any contact whatsoever with Epstein, nor will you find my name on any list other than the clearly phony nonsense that soft-brained wackos like yourself can't seem to distinguish from reality. Your reckless words put my family in danger. Keep it up and we will debate the facts further in court. At Aaron Rodgers 12. And Aaron Rodgers' original comment was, there's a lot of people, including Jimmy Kimmel, are really hoping that doesn't come out.
Yeah, so I guess that perhaps Aaron Rodgers and Jimmy Kimmel or Aaron Rodgers has some beef towards Jimmy Kimmel with the whole vaccine debate, which we don't need to get into, but I think Jimmy Kimmel has had one or two moments on his show talking about just being like pro-vaccine and talking about Aaron Rodgers being very anti-vaccine. And Aaron Rodgers felt like he would just throw this little jab back at Jimmy. You wanna talk about vaccines? Well, I think you're on the Epstein list.
Just like, listen, I can understand where Jimmy Kimmel is coming from being upset about this.
Oh, I'd be fucking furious. I'd be like, fuck this guy.
Right, because now people are running with the fact that Jimmy Kimmel's on this list. Just because, like when someone just throws it out there, like Aaron Rodgers being like, Jimmy Kimmel's hoping he's not on that
this
list.
Is how the internet works. That joke will last forever.
Right, it will. Even
like people will be like, he's on the list.
Aaron Rodgers joking that Jimmy Kimmel's on the list has people who don't understand a joke going, Jimmy Kimmel's on the list.
But do you think that Aaron Rodgers, that was just a joke out of thin air, or do you think that he was like online and he saw people saying this?
Think he was joking, but also like,
because a lot of people are like, oh, those talk show hosts are like whatever.
I think he was like semi joking, semi serious.
Aaron Rodgers is.
He's probably on the dark web.
Yeah, he's on the on the website.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he is. I think he can really talk himself into anything.
Yeah.
And I think like he's, but he's probably convinced himself that Jimmy Kimmel was on this list.
He has talked himself in. He found one website
That
that said
wasn't
Jimmy
like
Kimmel was on the list, and he talked himself into Jimmy
throwing
Kimmel
that
being
name
on the
out
list.
there on Pat McAfee and then being like, ha guys, just
Right.
ha, I'm
Like
kidding,
how
I'm
Noah
kidding.
just threw out Lizzo.
Yeah, like
No, she's actually.
I'm kidding, guys. Like, don't worry about it.
Just kidding.
And like you could see Pat was almost a little flustered. He was like, oh, this goes back to the
By the way, here's the background story.
Like, it was like, yeah. So,
you can't, like, if you just throw someone's name out there on like, this is a serious thing.
apparently now some of the names are going to be revealed on a rolling basis.
And then people were like, well, someone who is on the list would get this mad. It's like, you're going to get mad.
Oh,
like,
that's what we're saying. That's the problem. That's the problem.
No, that is
That's the problem Jimmy Kimmel now has, is that people are going to be like,
oh, he
"Doth
got really
protest too much, I say.
Yeah, okay. That is, can I say that's my least favorite thing, is when, like, say you're accused of something and
Vehemently deny it.
And either way you go with it, if you ignore it, people say, oh, must be true. But if the person denies it, they're like, oh, it's even more true because they denied it. It's like, people can't just like defend themselves anymore. So now people are like, oh, Jimmy Kimmel, he really must be on it. It's like,
they're like, wow, he seems so pissed. He must be he must be hiding something.
Right. I think if Jimmy Kimmel was on it, he would have kept his damn mouth shut. I don't think he's writing this whole thing to Aaron Rodgers.
That's tough. That's tough because when you're deep on like those people's lists, it's just not where you want to be. Like John Legend and Chrissy Teigen, I think, still deal with
the pizza stuff,
the crazy shit that, like, they get messages all the time with that, all the, like, that they're on the list or they've done this, they're in these circles, the child pedophilia shit, really bad stuff.
Honestly,
that you're like,
I haven't heard from Chrissy Teigen in a while.
do not want your, like, that's
she
just
hasn't been on social media.
Not what you want to be affiliated with.
Good for her.
And
she's probably living a much happier life because she was someone who would get really riled up.
There were like years where everyone's like, you gotta stop. Like,
everyone was like, Chrissy Teigen's gotta get off social media. That was the
joke where she said, I'm leaving social media, and then the next day
she'd be back. No, but she probably is. I bet if someone was in contact with Chrissy Teigen right now and was like, are you happier? She's probably like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and she does post. Like, it's not like
she
doesn't
Twitter,
post,
like,
but it's
Twitter
not,
was where it was bad.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. But you know what I'm saying? Like, that still lives in people's brains.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of crazies out there.
It's hard
who
when
will fly with anything.
It's like when somebody sees a headline or a story comes out, right? And people just see that headline, but then they never see the follow-up to the story.
Yeah.
So they just believe whatever they saw, and then they never have the clear information. It kind of screws a lot of people over sometimes.
Yeah.
Like people who were like found not guilty of things, but the original was that they were guilty, Like it
it's tough. It's a tough
for Jimmy Kimmel right now.
That's a clip. You're Jimmy Kimmel, you're watching that clip, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Yeah, you're like, why did you say my name?
He didn't address it on, I don't know if he's like live right now, like doing shows, but like
he just posted the tweet.
Yeah, I'm assuming he wouldn't like bring that up.
I don't know. Who knows? If I was him, I would think I would like to brush that one under the rug.
Right,
but
like, oh God, we gotta deal with this now.
So
now, as for this list, I waited all day.
What I have seen
refreshing
is now
for this list, and I don't think it's ever coming.
The last story I've seen is that the release of some of the more than 150 names mentioned in court documents, it was postponed. A judge has delayed the unsealing of 3 of the does until the 22nd. But the rest of the names will be unsealed on a rolling basis starting Wednesday.
They should just do Friday, like new
I don't know.
It's just
the delay for some of the
it's
names comes after a judge granted a 30-day extension to a Jane Doe to consider her appeal to remain confidential.
Oh, so somebody is like, so it's basically just like people don't want it to be out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
they're appealing to the court
paying,
to keep it sealed.
Appealing and also paying probably a good chunk of change.
Yep.
Imagine you're those people right now.
Is there a reason why
prominent figures on the
releasing
are prominent figures are holding
what
up
do
the
you
impending
mean?
disclosures? It's also a political thing.
Noah goes, is there a reason why they're releasing
like
it?
what like in their mind, like what is going to come from releasing it other than ruining
news
these people's
sources
lives, which I'm not against,
people want this people want there's newspapers that have like want it unsealed.
Oh yeah, well, I'm sure like everyone wants to know.
And I also think for political reasons, I think there are probably people on there that they are like
correct
want them to be unveiled. Like
this is the first paragraph of this Times article. It says court documents related to the disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein are expected to be released soon, with many names that were previously redacted, and prominent figures on the right are holding up the impending disclosures as evidence of wrongdoing by Democrats, despite a lack of concrete information about what they will show. Most of the names being made public have previously been identified in other court documents or in news reports as having been associated with Mr. Epstein. So it's like, I don't really know if there's going to be anything that's like that crazy on here anyway. Besides obviously like Bill Clinton, like it's like, but it's like we know.
I think that one's
we know he was in with Epstein.
Yeah. When I was I don't know if I've talked about this, but when I was in 10th grade, I went with my friend and her family to St. Thomas, and we went on this private boat thing, like I did this summer kind of, where they take you to different islands and stuff. And I'm like 90% sure they took us past Epstein's Island, and they were like,
probably
because it's like Little St. James or whatever. They're like, this is this island where this really rich man owns. And we were like, wow, how cool to own your own island.
Yeah.
Little did we know.
So it's really, it is obviously a political thing. The conservative commentators are really jumping on the Bill Clinton aspect of this, despite Bill Clinton denying that he ever knew anything of like what Jeffrey Epstein was doing.
It's not the first thing he denied.
President Clinton knows nothing about the terrible crimes he played. This is a statement from 2019 when all these things started to come out. So yeah, I mean that's I don't know. We'll see. That's a crazy legal thing that I don't know the inner workings of how many times people can appeal or motion to keep it sealed, or if there's anybody that's really that like new on
anybody
here
that we're really gonna be shocked by, what I mean? Right. Like I don't know if anybody's gonna like be like, whoa, we didn't know
I don't
that.
think we're supposed to get a list of 150 people that we all like recognize the names of.
Like oh my god, look at all these celebrities.
Yeah.
I think that's what people were expecting at first.
Yeah, that's not the case.
Yeah, no.
So
all right.
We shall see.
And I think that wraps up the topics for today. Happy to be back. Happy to catch up with all of you. We hope everyone had a wonderful, Christmas Eve, and New Year's. Or maybe you don't celebrate any of those things, but just had a nice week without us. And now
maybe
we are
you
back.
were on a yacht in St. Bart's.
And maybe you were on a yacht in St. Bart's. Or maybe you weren't. But whatever you did without us, I hope you enjoyed it, because we're back and we're in your ears, coming to you live 3 times a week. Not live, pre-recorded, but we are coming to you 3 times a week in the new year. Love you guys very much, and we'll talk to you on Friday.